Welcome to our deep dive into the world of ICT product management. We've got a ton of interesting stuff to unpack today, career guides, tips for acing those interviews, and even a look at how AI is, well, shaking things up in the job market. So buckle up, because whether you're already fluent in Python or just starting to explore the tech world, I guarantee you're going to learn something new today.
What really fascinates me is how this role, ICT Product Manager, it's not just about the tech stuff, right? It's often seen as this very techie job, but when you actually dig into the resources you've gathered, it's clear there's so much more to it.
You hit the nail on the head. So let's break it down. What's the core?
Yeah.
What is ICT product management?
Imagine this, you're an architect, yeah. But instead of dealing with blueprints and concrete, you're working with lines of code and user experience. You're analyzing market trends, strategizing the development of a digital product, and making sure it aligns perfectly with the company's goals, their objectives. It's like being this bridge, really, between the hardcore tech world and the business side of things.
A bridge. Yeah, I like that. And bridges need to be strong. Seems like a pretty diverse skill set is needed here. Of course, the technical foundation has got to be there. But what about those less obvious skills? What else is essential to really nail it as an ICT product manager?
One of the sources actually had this fascinating case study about a product launch. The stakeholders, they had totally different visions for the product, right? And the ICT product manager, they used their understanding of, well, people, basically, team dynamics and how to read a room. They use those social skills to navigate those different opinions.
Interesting.
Yeah. Got everyone on board and launched a successful product. It just goes to show social intelligence, that ability to connect, it's just as critical as being a tech whiz in this field.
That's not something you'd automatically think of with a tech-heavy role, but it makes total sense. Understanding what users need, working with different personalities, and ultimately making those products that people love to use.
Exactly. And this whole thing about needing like a Swiss Army knife of skills, it becomes even more important when you factor in how fast the tech world moves.
Yeah, talk about a fast-moving train. Continuous learning, that's got to be crucial here, right?
100%. The sources, they all emphasize that staying ahead of the curve, it's not optional, it's essential. ICT product managers, they have to be constantly learning about new tech, new skills, adapting to whatever is coming next. It's a career that definitely keeps you on your toes. And speaking of staying ahead of the curve, let's dive into the career path itself for an ICT product manager. The resources you pulled together, they paint a really clear picture of what that journey can look like.
Yeah, I'm really curious to unpack that. What are the different stages and what does each one actually involve? Like, how do you go from newbie to, the top dog in this field?
Okay, so picture this. You're fresh out of school, maybe you've had an internship or two, and you land that entry-level position, right? At that stage, it's all about absorbing everything. You're helping out the more senior folks on the team, doing a lot of market research, maybe even like contributing to product roadmaps, that sort of thing.
Oh, product roadmaps.
Of course.
Sorry to interrupt, but for anyone who, isn't swimming in tech jargon all day, could we break that down a bit?
Oh, for sure. Easy to forget, not everyone speaks fluent tech. Basically, a product roadmap, it's like a visual guide, a high-level plan showing where a product is headed. It lays out the development, the releases, the marketing, all of that over time. So at the entry level, you might be gathering the data for these roadmaps, doing the groundwork, contributing ideas.
Gotcha. So very hands-on, a real learning experience at that stage. What happens as you, level up? What's the next rung on the ladder?
Usually you'd move into a junior ICT product manager role, and this is where you get to like really sink your teeth into things. Imagine you're assigned specific product features to own, to manage. You're coordinating with the developers, running tests, looking at user feedback, and always making sure those features fit into the bigger picture of the product.
So it's going from assisting with the big picture to mastering these individual pieces.
Exactly. And once you've got that mastery, you're ready for the next step. Full-fledged ICT product manager. This is where you get to be the conductor of the orchestra.
I like that.
You're creating those detailed product roadmaps we talked about, managing the budget, leading teams across different departments, basically overseeing the whole life cycle of the product. From that first spark of an idea to launch day, you're there.
The pressure is on. I imagine there are some pretty unique challenges at this level. What are some of the things that could trip up an ICT product manager at this stage in their career?
One of the biggest ones, and this came up a lot in what we looked at, is juggling. Juggling different priorities that are often, well, kind of at odds with each other. You've got stakeholder expectations, you've got to keep an eye on what the competition is doing, and then there's that constant push to deliver something amazing, on time and within budget.
Yeah, sounds like you need to be incredibly organized and a master problem solver.
For sure. Adaptability, resilience, those are key.
So let's say you've crushed it at that level. You're ready to climb that final rung of the ladder. What's waiting at the top? What does the view look like from up there?
At the very top, you have the Senior ICT Product Manager. These are the folks who are thinking 5 steps ahead, the real visionaries. They're not just thinking about today's product, they're analyzing the market, anticipating what people will need down the line, and coming up with long-term plans for the whole product line.
So they need this deep understanding of not just the current trends, but also what's coming down the pipeline, those emerging technologies.
Yeah, absolutely. They're mentoring other product managers, presenting their strategies to the top brass. Their decisions can make or break a company.
Sounds like an amazing but demanding journey. But let's be real. Everyone wants to know, what about the paycheck? What can someone realistically expect to earn on this career path? Let's be honest, we've talked about the skills, the demands, the whole shebang. But I think everyone's really wondering, what's the bottom line? What kind of salary can someone actually expect as an ICT product manager?
It's the question on everyone's mind, right? And honestly, what we're seeing is that the range is pretty wide, which makes sense because the field itself is so diverse. Your experience level, where you are in the world, even the specific industry, they all factor in.
Okay, so give us a ballpark then. What's a realistic expectation?
Well, from the data we've gathered, an entry-level position, you're probably looking at somewhere between, say, $80,000 to $100,000 per year. But as you gain experience, climb that ladder, those senior roles, they can easily go upwards of $150,000, sometimes even way higher, especially in those tech hotspots where the demand is through the roof.
Not too shabby at all. And speaking of demand, our research also uncovered this really interesting trend, the whole AI revolution. It's even changing how we search for jobs. We touched on RoleCatcher earlier, this platform that's designed to give tech professionals a leg up.
Yeah, it's huge, especially with more and more companies using those automated systems to sort through applications. You know those algorithms that scan for keywords? RoleCatcher, it's like it helps you crack the code.
So instead of just blasting out the same generic resume everywhere, you can tailor it to what those algorithms are looking for.
Exactly. It's all about working smarter. The platform uses AI to actually analyze job descriptions, pick out those must-have keywords and skills, and then gives you personalized advice on how to optimize your resume, how to make it stand out. It's like having your own personal AI recruiter in your corner.
That's wild. But it's not just about getting your foot in the door right. I think our research mentioned that RoleCatcher also helps with interview prep too.
100%. They've got this massive database of interview questions, all specific to different roles, different industries. But the coolest thing, they have this AI-powered feedback system. Imagine you're practicing your answers and you're getting real-time feedback, like how you're delivering your answers, the content, even your body language.
Whoa, that's next level. I bet that's a game changer for anyone who gets those interview jitters.
It's all about giving people the tools and confidence they need to really shine.
For sure. Well, this deep dive has been incredible. We've covered a ton of ground, from the nitty-gritty skills and what an ICT product manager actually does day to day, to the career path itself, and even how AI is changing the game. But before we wrap things up, I want to bring it back to the bigger picture. Why is this role so important? I mean, how does it impact all of us, in our everyday lives?
That's the key question, right? Think about it. All the technology you use, from the apps on your phone to the software that powers businesses, behind every single one of those successful digital products, there's a team of skilled ICT product managers making it happen. They're the ones solving problems, pushing the boundaries, shaping the tech landscape that influences how we live, how we work, how we connect.
And it's a landscape that's constantly changing, evolving at warp speed. So on that note, I want to leave everyone with a final thought. As technology keeps advancing, what's next for ICT product managers? What challenges and opportunities are just around the corner? What skills will be essential to thrive in this ever-changing world? Something to think about as you navigate your own journey in the exciting world of ICT product management. Until next time.